Thank you for joining me. First of all, I'm obsessed with your music. Your band is so good. You make some incredible indie rock. I just kind of wanted to go, I like to have casual conversations about music. I'm not like a, what's this first question? And then we'll go to question two. I like to have a natural conversation. So
Yeah,
kind of about you, your band, your music, what you listen to, who you're inspired by, everything like that. So we'll just kind of dive into it, eh?
sounds
Awesome.
amazing. Yeah, thank you so much for chatting to me as well. It's really
Of course. So do you want to just kind of say who you are, your music, what you do? My dogs are barking.
Yeah, I can see.
As they do, as they do.
What dogs are they?
Pit bulls.
Oh
Big
wow.
chunky babies.
Oh wow, amazing. I
Hold
love
on, let me go yell though. They're just
I have two like miniature schnauzers, so it's not really the same.
That is so cute.
They don't live with me, unfortunately, but
Oh,
yeah.
are they just little babies? Just little
Tiny
babies. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just like
Yeah.
introduce yourself, what you do, what you're promoting, everything like that.
Yeah, so I myself am the lead vocalist of Bleach Lab, and we're sort of like an indie alternative dream pop band. We've been sort of like in our final form of members for the four of us since 2021.
You're babies.
Yeah, we are. I mean, we started out like a pretty long time ago. It was 2017 when Josh, Frank and I started like our little project. But then we've been through a few different drummers. So we've got Kieran now, who's like an amazing asset to us. So that's like when we say that we like officially started.
I love that. You know, it's really interesting. Do you, just because like when I was listening to music, it does have a lot of, I'll say, American influences, that dream pop kind of vibe.
Yeah.
You know, really blew up over here, I think, especially during quarantine for some reason, maybe because we were all making music in our bedrooms and it sounded great. Was that kind of, is this kind of the iteration that you, the genre that you're really kind of pushing towards?
Like shoegaze?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so I think even now we really struggle to define ourselves to like a genre. And I think that there are aspects of our music that don't fit into like the shoegaze sort of thing. You know, we have a lot more poppy sort of stuff, and
even a little bit more rockish, I would say, you know?
Yeah, we have a lot of grungy stuff going on as well, and it's like a bit of a mix of different genres. But for me personally, and definitely when we started out, I think the aim was like more of a shoegaze vibe, and I think at some point we might potentially bring that back. We'll see.
That's so exciting though.
It's definitely a huge influence for like especially me and Frank. Sort of listen to a lot of like Slow Dive and that
oh my gosh, yes. So you're very inspired.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's so interesting because you seem like a very young baby angel, so it's interesting to see younger people kind of get back into that genre.
I'm 25.
That's still a baby. I'm 32, so like it's like usually people in their 30s who are, you know, big shoegaze people, because that's Fugazi and all of that. Like we kind of grew up with it, so I love that you're bringing that back to younger people. You know, it's I think a very important genre.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the sort of feedback that we get from both sort of fans and then like interviews as well is that we have the essence of kind of nostalgia, and I think I think maybe that's what they're referring to.
Do you feel like a nostalgic person in general? Do you think that? I'm
always dwelling on the past.
Do you think your even your lyrics kind of reflect that feeling?
I'd say strictly.
To
be honest, I like my way of writing is sort of strictly like experiences that I've had in the past or am currently experiencing, but like especially with the new EP, we sort of realized later on when we were sort of finalizing everything before naming it and everything, we sort of realized that the overarching theme was sort of like the nostalgic feeling of searching for like home and safety and that kind of feeling of security. And a lot of that is influenced like by my upbringing and my childhood and like all that sort of stuff, which obviously is like the nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's like some heavy material to kind of dive into, you know.
Yeah,
I think Ashley, my partner, and I talk about this all the time about how you get this nostalgia in music because it's a lot of people. What in the world is that noise? My computer's just freaking out. That was fun. That was really fun.
I hear it.
You know, I think there's this really nice feeling of women who are kind of owning their nostalgia, owning their, I don't want to say sadness around their childhood, but really like it's almost therapeutic, I think, to be nostalgic almost. Do you find that when you're writing, it's really like you're journaling your thoughts of how you felt as a kid, how you feel now, like all of that? Is it just does it feel good that you get it all out?
Yeah, for sure. And it's like obviously a bit daunting when you then sort of realize that after the process of writing down all of your inner sort of feelings and thoughts, you realize that actually like thousands of people are going to be able to listen to those. It's a little bit daunting. But it is really like I find it very cathartic, and I think, I don't want to sound cliche or anything, but it's like I've been able to figure out more about myself and the experiences that I've been through by writing them, because I almost write in like a stream of consciousness. I just sort of go for it, and if I think of like a phrase or something that I find relatable or interesting or that would work, I sort of write it down, and then I can write a whole song off of like one phrase that I've related to, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's so impressive though. That's such a hard, I think. Yeah, I was gonna say that's such a unique way of writing, like stream of consciousness. If I did that, it would just be like, nah, I don't know what any of that means.
Most of it is.
But clearly you pick on like really great kind of wording, phrases, everything like that to your music. And I think that's so beautiful in a way, because it's clearly like your brain being like, these are the words, these are what I need to tell people. And you know, as a listener, for us, it's like, thank you, because you're saying something I don't know how to say. So we are very excited. We are announcing our partnership with Braid Network. Ash is going to tell you all a little bit about it. It's incredible. We're so excited to be working with them.
Yeah, we are amped. So Braid Network is basically like a Linktree and a Discord combined. It is an app, also web-based, so you do not have to download the app. You can just join us on the web if you'd like to. We are going to be communicating there, having little groups, little channels for us all to have fun talking about the podcast, talking about San Diego venues, concerts in the area. We want all you guys to join us on Braid, on our network, so we can have fun just connecting and like getting more into our community.
Yes.
Because we started Discord, it was like,
it was hard. It's hard to get. We really,
it doesn't bring it all together.
Exactly. This is honestly so nice, because even when I look at it, it's just a nice like feed of all of our social media in one place. So things that we post on TikTok will be on there. Things that we post on YouTube will be on there. So if you're just following us on Instagram, go over to Braid and you can see
all of it.
All of our content.
You don't really have to have all the other social media.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like you can be whoever you want to be with friends. You can make your own profile. You can make your own emojis, which are amazing.
Which we're going to have to make some girl ones.
Oh yeah, we're making girl ones. And you can kind of like explore your own identity there within it. Yeah. It's super fun.
It's such a fun company. They're so incredible what they're doing. They really value content creators and, people like us who, we have a lot of lanes, and it just helps us really keep it all together in one, like a link tree, but way better, I think, just because it's visual. It's so visual based.
Yes.
And that's how I operate on my brain.
So today, when you are watching the podcast, you can hop onto our Braid Network and chat with us there.
Yes.
Give us any notes, any comments, anything you want to chat about that we talked about, the songs you listen to, our playlist.
Yes.
We will be on there and we can all chat about our podcast.
And we're so excited. Thank you so much to Braid Network.
Yeah, thanks, Braid Network.
Lyrically, I'm influenced by sort of the likes of, do you know Daughter and Daughter? Yeah, that was my teens.
Oh my God. Wild Youth? Is that the song? Oh my God. Hold on. I think so.
Yeah, I think it's Youth. Yeah.
Oh, now I have to. Yeah, I think. Yep. Oh my God, that song devastates me every time I listen to it.
I know. I used to play it like as a solo thing around where I used to live in pubs and stuff, as one of my songs that I play in open mics. It was just one of the only ones that I learned how to play on guitar, but I really loved it anyway. But yeah, that's the kind of lyricists that I've taken influence and inspiration from, like the way that they write in such a sort of distinctive story,
devastating type of way. Yeah. It's very it's very fluffy imagery, but at the same time there's like such a darkness behind it that it's almost kind of creeps into your soul, and I think that's what makes it so listenable multiple times.
I'm trying as well to work on more metaphors, because I love the use of metaphors and I struggle like to make them up, but I really, really appreciate them, and I think Daughter's one of the OGs for me for that.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, I think it's absolutely stunning how both of you write. Like it's just, again, something that is, I think, very hard for some people to get out. And so when a musician does that for you, it's healing, very healing, and very you feel connected. And I think that's what we all kind of missed in quarantine, and why we're all so fucking sad, you know, is the loss of connection with people. And I think, do you think like during that period, your music really kind of grew?
Yeah, I think the lockdowns for us were actually really, they came at a really unusually good time. I know it was an awful time for so many people, and, you know, I'd rather it wasn't a thing, but the time that we had as a band to stop doing everything else and focus on what we actually wanted to do was like really, it turned out really great for us. And we, I'm pretty sure we recorded, so I've got hair in my mouth. It's not even my hair.
It's always dog hair, or I'm like,
not even dog hair.
Where this comes from.
But yeah, we just spent a lot more time sort of focusing on the direction that we wanted to go in, and just perfecting things a lot more. And we had a lot of time to work on demos and to write, where we'd usually be out doing other things. We were able to sit at home and reflect a bit more and write a bit more. And although it was really difficult to be away from friends and family and everything, it was useful for us to have that time, to the brain space to be able to work.
I don't disagree. You know, Ashley and I've had an iteration of girl music for a long time, but Ashley and I really came back during the pandemic because we had time. We had time to kind of dedicate to our passion project. And I think that was the nice thing about the pandemic, as fucked as this sounds, but it really did give us that time.
More time to be creative and not feel guilty about it.
Or not so fucking tired, you know? You work a full-time job. That's the thing about artists, is I think people forget, especially smaller artists, you work a full-time job, and you write music. You have to produce the music, then sell the music, and then promote the music, and then, you know, it's like
perform the music,
make shirts for the music, you know. I mean, it's its own universe. And so that's, I think, why we're so appreciative though of you guys, you know.
Yeah.
So nice. Are you looking to tour? Like, what's the kind of
Well,
game
we
plan for
have a short tour coming up. It's more of an autumn run of shows, we're calling it.
I like it.
Like it's just 4 dates in November, and that's surrounding the EP launch.
Hell yeah. I'm guessing in the UK.
Yeah,
where you hit? We've got some UK peoples. We've got a lot of UK people. Where are you playing?
Venture out yet, but we're playing Southampton, which is where I went to uni, so that's going to be interesting.
All your professors are just like in the crowd.
I hope not. And then Bristol, which we love Bristol. Brighton, which is where I live.
Nice.
And London.
Oh my gosh. Can I ask you about Brighton real quick? How we love Brighton?
We do.
Okay. I am obsessed with England. Y'all's TV and humor is just like all of me.
Have you been?
What?
Have you been?
Yes. Yeah. But I've always wanted to go to Brighton and just kind of like spend a few weeks.
Yeah.
On that, and then because it's easy to get to London, right?
You would think Southern like English rail is one of the worst industries in the world.
Why?
It's terrible. Sometimes, to drive from Brighton in a car without traffic should be from Brighton to London an hour.
Okay.
Hour and a half maximum. It takes me on a train sometimes 3 to 4 hours to get back from London when I travel, because I go there a lot because the guys live there. I'm always stuck.
What are they stuck on?
They're just constantly having like walkouts, and the staff are walking out and strikes and everything, and it's just like it's been a couple of years now of just cancellations and a nightmare to get to and from London. Like, it's just not fun. But Brighton itself, I've been here for 5 years now.
Do you feel inspired kind of by the area you're writing to?
I live less than a 2-minute walk away from the seafront, and that, I think, if you were to analyze our lyrics, there's a lot of themes of water. And I think it's just because of where I live and like my location and the influences and inspiration around me. But also I'm surrounded 24/7 by incredibly creative people and artists and musicians, and like every other person that you meet here is a musician or an artist. Like, really? Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Interesting. It's just become like a little kind of creative hub for people.
Yeah, it has been for a really, really long time.
And supportive, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But it's a very saturated music scene because there's so many.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's amazing. I love that though, because I think it's almost hard to find sometimes a community of like-minded people where it's not competitive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And instead collaborative. So I'm sure having that kind of family is very helpful in creating music.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. Oh, yay, Lon. Good job, England. Good job. Because out here, let me tell you, it's a little brutal, but
I bet, yeah. I don't know if I'd.
Yeah, it's stressful out
fragile.
Here. We get through it,
Yeah. I'm way too fragile.
Yeah, honestly, me too. I'm like, I will cry at any given moment. But that's amazing. So you have your EP coming out. You're going to do a cute little mini tour. Hopefully take a break for the holidays and, chill out, please. And then, what are kind of what's your future look like? Are you wanting to, make a full album or hang with the boys and make some better music, or what's the feeling?
There's definitely a lot going on.
Yeah.
I don't know like how much I'm allowed to go into or what I'm allowed to actually say, but there's definitely a lot going on.
You can be very big.
I'm hoping that next year, we're hoping that next year is going to be pretty big, like the summer for us, hopefully maybe get out of the country.
Yay! Hell yeah!
That would be really great. I think, next year the plan is a lot more festivals, a lot more like hopefully a much bigger tour and leave the UK.
Yeah. Does that feel overwhelming, or, you know, is it something that you're really ready to do?
No, I think we're totally ready.
Hell yeah.
I think we're so ready. We've had 2 years now of playing in the UK. I think we're
I was
ready
about to
to go.
say, your music is too good to stay there. Like, please, please come over here.
I don't know.
But that's so exciting. You know, it's like you did get to do this little project in quarantine. You got to really kind of hone in on your craft. And now's the time for you to shine, which is beautiful. And it's like, out of the ashes of shit that was the pandemic, it's like, oh, look at all these beautiful phoenixes rising everywhere with music. It's so beautiful.
I think as well, like, we're really grateful for the space in the music industry at the time of the pandemic, because obviously the result of people not being able to meet up and hang out and like make music, there was space for us to, like, being a really, really small band, sort of put our foot in the door, which I don't know if we'd have been able to do that without that. And then, I mean, off the back of that, we got a lot of good press and radio, like Radio 6, which was really, really important to us, the playlisting here. And I think, that space in the industry for that moment of time was really important to our, like, growth.
Well, I love that you said that, because the music industry can be very harsh, very painful, very cruel. I think the people I've talked to, the artists I've talked to recently, have all just been like surrounded by good people and supportive people. And I think that that is really key to growing musicians like yourself. And it's so beautiful to see that it's not just like, you know, Beyonce, it's not just Lizzo, it's not just, you know, all these, you know, top 40 artists that are always there. You know, they're always there. They always are going to have support, but like, you find your communities of fans and they will follow you. They are dedicated. You know,
it's still growing.
It's like fangirls, you know, it's like everyone made fun of fangirls for a while, but it's like, no, we're the backbone of the music industry. Sorry.
We need some fangirls over here.
I agree. Do you think that is, with the industry being like, you know, TikTok viral, social media viral, do you think virality is kind of stressful? Do you think that idea is worrisome?
Virality, like becoming like viral and stuff, is that what you mean?
Yeah, like having that song blow up on TikTok, or, you know, and then you get all this attention on you.
It's a lot of pressure, and I mean, it can be an amazing thing. It can be the thing that makes your career, or it can be like a momentary sort of success that doesn't last very long. And I think whilst we would love for one of our songs to go viral and to be used on every other TikTok and whatever, that would be amazing to see that happen. It's like, I don't know what the longevity of that is necessarily. And I was actually coincidentally speaking to a friend who works for a label in the UK earlier, and he was just saying that he was at Desert Days.
Oh yeah. Wait, really? All the way out here?
Yeah.
That's in San Diego. Yeah, that's crazy.
Obviously not that long ago. It was really recent. He said that there was a band there that had gone viral on TikTok and had over like 10 million streams because of it, and there was literally like no one there to watch. And it's like, sort of, while one thing can be this huge thing on like online, and then in reality it's like doesn't always have doesn't
translate.
Doesn't exactly. So it's a lot of pressure, and you know, we get pressure from other artists and from management and from our label to like create content, which, you know, we understand the importance of, and we do it, but it's like, it's kind of a little bit tiring that is such a big part of what we actually want to do, which is create music. It's like, But no, I'm not good at. They're like, oh, do this, do that. I'm like, I can't. I'm not about to sit and. I'm terrible behind camera. I'm awful.
I'm like, you want me to dance? Have you seen
No.
me? Like, no one wants me to do the Beyonce cup at dance. You know?
No,
It's so,
exactly.
but I 1,000% agree. I think it's so almost heartbreaking to me as someone in, like, you know, the outside of the industry, but in it, to really see the pressure from the upper echelons of the industry to be everything, to be viral, to be creating content, to be constantly self-promoting yourself, which I think is very hard to do sometimes.
I agree.
Because we all just don't, you know, I hate being salesy. So I think every artist feels that way too. And it almost feels like you really do have to sell yourself these days to become an artist. But I do like the idea that we're getting a wide span of artists now instead of just a tiny little group. Like we hear new artists all day, every day, which is really good.
More accessible, like smaller bands and people with less, like smaller audiences have more of an opportunity to.
Yes. Yeah, it feels more equal, like in that regard. But again, the longevity is like, how do you can't keep up that viral life.
No.
You know, it's
once it's done, it's done.
Yeah, once it's done, it's done. Yes, exactly.
And
so
you either pick up an audience from it or you don't.
Yeah. Like I think of Ty Burtis as being the perfect example of that. He, you know, came out with that song and got huge. He pulls in people for festivals. I've seen their crowds. But then you think of people who did, like, oh, what was her name? Space Girl. Why can't I think of her name? But it's like, again, you don't really hear much from her. And, you know, it's like, unless you're following them directly, it's almost like music discovery is a single and you're done. You know, do you prefer an album? Do you prefer singles? Are you a single lady?
Yeah, I'm a bit embarrassed to say it because
no, I love it though.
I know, but like an album to me is such a special thing, and it's, you know, it's a piece of art, and it's someone's like love, and there's been so much put into it. And a baby, and I'm like, I appreciate them so much, and I have vinyls and stuff, and having a physical copy of something, I just like, I don't know, I just find it really, I don't know what the word is.
I think it's comforting.
It's just nice to hold that, and I only have like a handful of them, and they're my favorite sort of artists. But my general approach to listening to music is I become obsessed with like 1 or 2 or 3 songs at a time, and I compulsively listen to them again and again and again until I get bored of them, and then I move on to the next. But I'm terrible with albums. I'm really like, I'll be chatting to other musicians in the band and whatever, and they'll be like, oh yeah, well, it's from this album though, isn't it? And I'm like, yes, maybe, I don't know. I'm like, oh. You're like, please don't judge me. Embarrassed to not know, but it's just,
no, I think that you are not alone. You are not alone in that. I think that's very much a generational thing too, is my parents obviously were raised on full, like 2-hour long albums, you know what I mean? And then, you know, as 90s pop in the 2000s, it was like CDs. And now because I think it's streaming, it is so easy to be single oriented, because it's like you can flip around, you can like 1,000 artists, and it's easier.
It's absolutely the way for me. Like, I need the song or the track that I'm listening to scratch the itch in my brain, and if it's not, and if I'm still listening to the same voice over and over again, I'm like, or it's kind of, I don't know, I'm just to get a bit, I don't know. But there's a couple of albums that I like Phoebe Bridgers, and
I mean, does she, I mean, she doesn't count. Of course she's gonna be, you know, that full album is, I mean, anything she puts out is stunning. Unfortunately, you're like, God, why do you have to be so good?
I know, it's just amazing. But then also, like, I think, do you know Krangbin?
Who?
Krangbin.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I saw them at Outside Lands. Yeah. Oh, I'm
Oh,
upset.
nice. Yeah, that's another one who I can listen to their like EPs and albums and not get bored.
Well,
But
that is such a jammy kind of
yeah,
thing, you know, it is very like great. That's terrible to say.
but the
Background.
the tracks are all quite different as well, I think, to each other, like in their albums. So
Yeah. They get a little funkier. Oh my God. I love them so much. Oh, now I want to listen to
got them
them.
at Alexandra Palace in April.
Aren't they just so much fun?
Amazing. Like, it was like 10,000 people there it was just crazy. I loved it.
Everyone was just stoned. It's great.
I don't know, maybe. I wasn't.
I was having a time in my life. Rocking my joint, just jamming in my own world. They had better hair than me too. I was really upset.
They're all big.
I was like, what the hell? They're big,
don't worry.
They're so good. They're so good. Oh, but do you find yourself, are you a lyrics or melody person, given that you are a writer, you know?
Well, I think obviously get drawn in by the melody.
Yes.
And the love for the lyrics comes after a few listens, I think, usually.
Yeah.
For me.
Do you think that people interpreting even your music, but they get a different interpretation kind of it? Do you love that? Do you kind of love hearing what other people think your song is about?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I have my sort of general ideas of what they are to me, but I definitely write with the intention of things being interpreted in whatever way, like someone or whoever's listening to it would interpret it, you know. And yeah, I'm trying to think of like an example, but a lot of my friends have misunderstood a lot of the tracks, a lot of the lyrics. I'm like, well, if that's what you think it is, that's
you're like, sure, not in my world, but okay.
But yeah, no, I want it to be, and Josh is the same, because Josh and I both sort of, Josh chips in quite a lot with a lot of the lyrics, and he wants things to be relatable, but also like up for interpretation, like up for.
Yeah, I always appreciate that about an artist, because it really allows me to like bring it into my own life and what I need it to.
Well, you wouldn't. It's like I'm trying to think. So sort of, I'm often put off by songs that are named after people or that have names in the lyrics, because I'm like, I don't even know anyone called Sophie or like whatever.
Yeah.
You can talk about her, I don't know her, but then unless it's like someone that I already love or what, like the artist, but
yes,
it takes away that ability to relate to it that little bit more, I think.
Oh yeah, I like that though. Makes a lot of sense.
I'm not speaking for every song that has a name in it.
No, I agree. Yeah, but it's like, you know, like Hey There Delilah. There's a perfect like I think we like really kind of, every girl was like, I am Delilah. You know, so I am Delilah. But you know, versus like God, I can't even think, but like I know exactly what you're talking about. There's some songs where just like I can't relate to it because it feels almost too personal, which is weird
for someone else.
Yeah,
but that can be beautiful as well, and that can, you know, a lot of songs are for someone else, and all songs are for someone else, but
very much
being able to connect to and relate to it, I think is an art.
Yeah, I agree.
To write like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've mastered that, because I definitely haven't, but
I love that. Yeah. I love it. Well, thank you so much for meeting me. You are just a sweet baby angel. The excitement is high out here for your EP. So you know, yeah, I really appreciate your time chatting with me. It's been lovely. I hope you have a nice night.
Yeah, you have a lovely day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a drink now at the pub.
Oh my dream. I'll trade you.
It's a normal time. It's 7 o'clock. I can.
Oh, I'm so jealous. All right, girl. Have a good day. Have a good night. Good luck for everything. I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye.